Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is video series 1, part 2. In this part, I would like to share with you some highlight of the new philosophy system. I would like to start to have a look at the history of the Plato philosophy system. In the ancient Greece, Thales tried to simplify the complex world with one element. He called it water. Parmenides believed in absolute existence and non-existence. Socrates tried to turn the attention of the ancient Greek philosophers from nature to the human society. Plato put the word good, basically the idea of the human society, as the base of philosophy. The books of Aristotle were lost. What we read today were actually restored from his original notes by his followers. It is a challenge to understand what Aristotle wrote. I see the 5 basic philosophical concepts: good, purpose, motivation, causality, inevitability, and the approach from experience to prayer as the greatest contributions of Aristotle to philosophy and sciences. I call the series of the 3 great ancient Greek philosophers together as the Plato philosophy system. There were some challenges to the Plato philosophy system. I would like to mention 3 great German philosophers. Kant was trying to re-establish the Plato philosophy system, but he exposed the problem in it. I think that Schopenhauer and Nietzsche saw the work of Kant in this way. They made it simple. If you cannot prove the existence of God, morals, and the soul by reasoning, why not just abandon them? Unfortunately, they didn't do something systematically to replace the Plato philosophy system. The Plato philosophy system remains still today as the base of the mainstream philosophy series. In the end, I was lucky. I developed a completely new philosophy system. I showed in a simple way that the Plato philosophy system is only a part of the new philosophy system. Now about the new philosophy system. Let me first have a look at the new theory in a historical context. In the ancient Greece, Heraclitus thought that the world comes from a fireball and will end up in a fireball. Anaxagoras introduced the idea of a nurse to explain the variety of the world. The essential is that everything is driven by a kind of force inside the thing. Plato emphasized the role of moral on the one side, but on the other side, he keeps the idea that everyone has something unique, that is, for instance, responsible for 2 persons falling in love. Kant was not the first philosopher who used the word will, but he emphasized the role of will in human thinking. Schopenhauer regarded will as the inner essence of everything, and he extended the idea of will from the human thinking to the nature. The biggest contribution of Nietzsche to philosophy is that he found the moving up will of the mankind in the ancient Greek tragedy. I was lucky. I derived the four wills of the universe, the four wills of the living beings, the four original wills of the mankind, and the four social wills of the human society. I applied them in solve some fundamental problems in philosophy, natural sciences, and social sciences. Now the new philosophy system itself. Let me start with its heart. It's a simple geometrical model. Let me explain the model. In this model, every existence in the universe, including the human spirit, is described by four philosophical parameters. They are individualism, group interaction, order, and disorder. These four parameters have an exact definition in my books. They are fundamental and have a general meaning. The relationship between these four parameters is fixed in a two-dimensional coordinate system, as you could see on the drawing. On the drawing, the top x is individualism, the bottom x is group interaction, the left x is order, and the right x is disorder. When I was designing this model, I did a lot of reasoning and argumentation. However, when the model was ready, I became a little bit doubtful. It looks like too simple. I could not imagine that the whole universe can be described by this simple model. I really got a headache. On a shining Sunday, I had to work in a city park. When I passed a corner of the park, I was astonished by scenery. I took immediately a picture. Here is the picture. You could see all the four philosophical parameters in this picture. The foundations, energy, and joyfulness. It represents disorder. The wall shows the solid structure and the stability. It represents order. People lie together on the lawn but keep some distance from each other. It shows both group interaction and individualism. This picture gave me sufficient confidence to continue my research. The simple model contains tremendous information and implications. I even found nuisance in the model nowadays. The first thing I found out with the model is that it defines the four wills of the universe. On the drawing, quadrant 1 on the top right is enclosed by individualism and disorder. I call quadrant 1 the will of individual happiness. Quadrant 2 on the top left is enclosed by individualism and order. I call quadrant 2 the will of individual efficiency. Quadrant 3 in the bottom left is enclosed by group interaction and order. I call it the will of group efficiency. Quadrant 4 in the bottom right is enclosed by group interaction and disorder. I call it the will of group disaster. Every will has some special functioning properties. The will of individual happiness drives movement. The will of individual efficiency drives change and self-development. The will of group efficiency drives group efficiency and stability. The will of group disasters is increasing risks. The model in the drawing reveals strong correlations between the wills. For instance, increase in will of efficiency will increase the will of group disaster too. That means that when you improve your efficiency, you may face more risks. In the new theory, every existence in the universe, including the human spirit, is a representation of its four wills. The four wills of an existence in the universe are described by a will box. You see on the drawing a box with dashed white line. This will box contains the four wills of the existence. The four wills of an isolated or not isolated existence in the universe convert continuously into each other, which means that the states of any existence changes continuously. There's no absolute existence in a new theory. Any interaction between existence in the universe is determined by the interaction of their four wills. I should also mention that the observation by a human being involves complicated will interactions. There are 5 universal laws in the new philosophy system. The first law is the will conservation law. It says that the sum of the 4 wills of an isolated existence is a constant. The second law is the will conversion law. It is a set of general rules for the conversion of the 4 wills of one existence into each other. The third law is the law for creation and death of an existence. It says that the 4 wills of an existence are mostly imbalanced at its creation and death. They reach an optimal somewhere in between. This law makes it easy to find out the start and end of an existence. The bottom drawing shows the journey of our universe. It starts from quadrant 4 and ends in quadrant 3. During its journey, it went a little bit up and down. The first law is the new definition of time and space in terms of will conversion. It includes the supersymmetry of time and space. The fifth law is the new definition of causality in terms of will conversion. It means that there are 2 types of events. One takes time, another happens instantly. It means also the possibility of instant communication across the universe. The definition of time, space, and causality are a complex problem for both philosophy and physics. You could find much more information on them in my book. Let me make a simple comparison between the different philosophical systems. The four original wills of the mankind are reasonably balanced. See the drawing on the top left, the will box is in the middle. The Plato philosophy system is a part of the four social wills in the new theory. Basically, it emphasizes two themes, the social order and the interaction among the people. It means the social will of group efficiency. See the drawing on top right, the will box is more close to quadrant 3. The philosophical idea of Epicurus is also a part of the four social wills in the new theory. It emphasizes the original will of individual happiness of the mankind. See the drawing on both left. The will box is more close to quadrant 1. Both Plato and Epicurus neglected the will of individual efficiency and the will of group disaster. This means two things. First, both Plato and Epicurus neglected self-development of the human being. Second, they also neglected the intrinsic risk of the human being and the human society. Epicurus neglected also the will of group efficiency. The human society needs certain efficiency and stability to support the life of the population and to enable social progress. This is why the philosophical idea of Epicurus has never become the mainstream. Plato emphasized the social will of group efficiency. It's good for social efficiency and social stability, but it is at the expense of people's happiness and creativity. I proposed a new set of morals in my book. It respected the original will of the mankind and adds some limited social wills of group efficiency, so the drawing on both right. The five philosophical concepts of Aristotle are good, purpose, motivation, causality, and inevitability. They play a decisive role in philosophy, natural sciences, social science, and in a society. For instance, they were used in the history to prove the existence of God. There are Bibles of many scientists, especially the physicists. In the new philosophy theory, all existence in the universe are representations of their four wills. The change of all existence is driven by all the changes in their four wills. The five philosophical concepts of Aristotle are the representations of certain wills. Good is an ideal or dream of the human society. It is driven by the social will of group efficiency of the human society. The nature and the mankind do not have purpose and motivation. Only human society has purpose and motivation. Purpose and motivation are driven by the will of virtual individual efficiency or the social will of group efficiency over the human society. In the new philosophy theory, time-related causality law needs only to be obeyed when the will changes of the existence lead to change in its relative or disorder. Causality is therefore one of the consequences of changes in will. Inevitability is a representation of the will of group efficiency of existence. You could find more information in the philosophic part of my book. With this remark, I would like to close part 2 of video series 1. Thank you for your attention.